I hate to drop bombs on your moms, drop bombs of knowledge. Found this on Twitter. Links shows the stats. Looks like a Google page of stats that's being updated. Last updated 11 hours ago on that one. Funny story, he says. 4 countries with nothing in common except very low vaccination rates as far as US, UK, Israeli standards goes. India and Palestine are under 10% fully vaccinated. Colombia and Romania under 30% vaccinated. He says that the epidemic must be out of control for those guys, right? I mean, there's hardly any vaccinations. So he goes on to post the Google statistics. And here we go. Palestine. A funny thing happened. It's falling off a cliff. New cases 136, that's it. Again, August 23rd, new cases 25,000, 7-day average 32,000. It's going down. This is India, and you know how big India is. Huge country. I think there's over 1 billion or around 1 billion people in India. Again, spikes way back here early in the year, falls off a cliff. Strange. Another one, Colombia, same story. Then we have Romania, falling off a cliff. Of course, oh, little tiny uptrend there. Oh my gosh! But still, new cases 415, 7-day average 547. That's down. So me and my wife were just having a conversation. We went on a little date night tonight. Went out to one of our favorite restaurants. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. And we were talking about how all these people are catching and getting COVID, including unvaccinated people just getting COVID. And she's talking about people she knows that got it, this and that. And there's one correlation so far that she's recognized. I'm not saying this is any kind of fact yet. I'm just saying something she noticed. Personal experience. They were all around people who were recently vaccinated. And all of them were like, you know, we've been around since early 2020 when this came out. Not believing I'm going to get a vaccine or anything. I'm going to live my life the way I want to. We skated through this whole time, and then all of a sudden we're next to someone who just got vaccinated, and several people in the room caught it. This is her story from some friends she knows. And I said, well, Evelyn, you know, the correlation is that I'm seeing is the more people that are vaccinated for whatever reason, the more cases keep coming out. So here, I get home. This is how Spirit works. You get home, and right in front of my face, scrolling through my Twitter, you and your wife were just talking about this, right? You were guessing on certain why things were, you know. Yeah. Well, here's some data for you, JSnip4. So I'm going to now go take a peek at some of the more highly vaccinated country statistics, and we'll do it live. But I got to go pull up the page first, so stand by. All right, so I'll read it. I'm just going to read this to you. I'm on Google's homepage, and Google is supplying. I just typed in COVID statistics in Google, and Google brought up right off the bat from the New York Times, last updated 1 day ago. Statistics. New cases and deaths. So from June 10th, this is says United States, Florida, where they're reporting. New cases was 0, 0, 0. And all of a sudden we had this new case spike out of nowhere, 900, 952. And we have 7,000, 10,000 again, but at the same time, the state of Florida had to spank the CDC, or was it the FDA? I think it was the CDC. It said, we've been trying to tell you you're reporting the wrong numbers from us. Oh, finally, sorry about that. And they had to cut them in, like, massively down. So that's Florida. New cases, I want to see if I can just show all regions, United States. So Just take a peek, you know, just for fun. Here we go. So here's the other ones, right? This is what they look like. March, July, we're practically at August, right? Just to give you an idea. Oh, way down. Way down. Way down. Those 4 countries with the least amounts of vaccinated people. Specifically COVID vaccinated. United States. Oh, we went down like everybody up. Spike. June, July, August. Spike. So we see this clearly defined spike. Israel. Most all of the population is vaccinated. 90 some odd percent, 93 to 95% they say, in Israel have been vaccinated. And I again, March goes down to nothing. I mean, almost nothing. June, July. Oh, here we go. July, it starts. July, skyrocketing. So, again, data is data. If you take your emotions and your political views and just say, I'm a scientist, put my scientist hat on. I got a scientist hat in here? You got a jabron hat? Oh. Actually, yeah, I do. It's not really a scientist hat, but back in the farm truck days, street outlaws. Make street racing great again, son. Put on your little scientist cap and just say, I'm going to look at data. You don't have to be super smart. You don't have to know quantum physics. You don't have to know algebra. This is very basic math in science. Very simple. Cause and effect kind of a thing. Correlations. If this happens and then we see this happening, can there be a correlation? Because if this doesn't happen, does this still happen? Two very simple tests. So if a whole bunch of people are getting vaccinated for coronavirus, and all of a sudden cases are exploding out of control after the mass vaccination of lots of people, you can't call it a correlation yet. I mean, you can, but again, you don't have enough data to really fully say, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, how absurd would that be? We're giving people vaccinations, and all of a sudden the cases and spreading is out of control. That doesn't make sense. What are we getting vaccinated for? Right? Of course. So, you need some more data. Is there anywhere on planet Earth where they hardly gave any vaccinations out? Or simply the population just said, F you? I just showed you 4 examples. So the answer is yes. And do we have recent data? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, that same thing I'm putting in here. What was it? Well, one of them was what? Colombia? Look, I'll pull it up. Brand new, fresh. Last updated 2 days ago. Fine, whatever. I put it in Colombia. Here it is, Colombia. August 23rd. Again, 2 days ago, whatever. It's dropping down. So if we have 4 countries with a very small amount, percentage-wise, of populace vaccinated against corona, and the cases and deaths, because it shows cases and deaths, whatever, but this view mostly is the cases, they're falling off a cliff. So we have 4 countries very far apart from each other, as a matter of fact, showing this. Falling off a cliff cases. We have other countries, ours included, who have been vaccinating out of control. Lots of more people going to get this stupid shot. And the cases are effing exploding. Just look at the difference, right? This is Colombia. Falling off a cliff. Why is it spiking and then falling off a cliff? You know, and by the way, I don't have the answer, but I'll just give you a possible thought. When did these people, because they certainly did a vaccine campaign here. When did they start it? When did they push it the hardest? You know what I mean? Because usually when that happens, there's always a spike in, you know, when most people go get their vaccines, whatever. Did that happen in here? Again, I don't know. I don't have the answer. But I know right now the whole world is not doing this. Everywhere else, it's spiking out of control. But everywhere else have been giving the vaccines crazy recently. So go back to the United States. And we have the complete opposite taking place. It does not make sense. But we have two pieces of very good data now. Countries that hardly vaccinated versus countries that did heavy-duty vaccinations. And it's all of the countries that did heavy-duty vaccinations in which the cases and deaths are spiking again in the middle of summer, mind you. Don't you remember last year, middle of summer? Hey, it's like the flu. You know, it's going to come wintertime and then into the spring, and then it'll fizzle away. But the big vaccine campaign has been this summer, pushing like a son of a bitch everywhere. So all of a sudden, you mean to tell me during summer, middle of summer now, we have huge spikes in COVID cases, which again, it's just like it's a flu type of virus, which should normally only come during winter. Even the variants, doesn't matter. It's the same kind of a virus. It should be coming heavy duty in the winter time. So again, you go pull some data. Why would it happen in the middle of summer? Well, in all these countries, it's happening in the middle of summer. By chance, they're all doing heavy duty vaccine rollout. No matter how unbelievable this sounds to you, that these things can correlate, I'll just say that. I don't want to jump to any conclusions. You have to look at the data and say something is unbelievably, disturbingly wrong with this picture. My body, my choice. And I think I made the right choice. Many of us have. But many of us have not. And I'm wondering how that's going to look here in the not too distant future. Take care.